Are you emotionally 12? Well, maybe, but not exactly. However, many of us are still operating from emotional patterns we developed between the ages of 8 to 12. Chronological age doesn't always equal emotional or psychological maturity. We discuss this concept and how it can explain so much about adult relationships, conflict, and the current state of society. This idea explored by Dr. Was it Orion Taraban? All right. I really hope I said that correctly. He's a clinical psychologist and creator of PsycHacks. He suggests that many adults are sort of frozen at the stage where they first experienced emotional trauma or neglect. The good news is recognizing this is a first step toward changing. With the right tools, awareness, and willingness to grow, we can evolve beyond our emotional age and start showing up in relationships and in life with greater maturity, understanding, and compassion.
And so this says most people are trapped at age 8 through 12 years of age, emotionally and mentally. There's no tests for that.
Could be a myth.
It will be. Grow up.
I don't know, when you think about the fact that so many people lack basic comprehension, basic analytical, basic like understanding of like language and things that we read, I'm not shocked by this. Like, it says a lot because like I would assume that when you mature, you're able to think about, you've had enough life experiences to think about things from different perspectives. Whether it's based on a different perspective, like as a man or a woman, being of a different religion, being of a different like ethnicity or whatever, because you've lived life and you have different experiences, you would think that would form the context of how you approach things and think about things. But there are people who, when you explain stuff to them, like, you're like, how the fuck don't you understand that? Or like, why on earth is that the first thing you thought of to do in response to the situation? Because it's not mature, it might not be legal. Like, there's so many flaws with whatever it is. And danger. Yeah. But it's like, but you thought that was a good idea.
Well, I think a big misconception is like, because you have that experience, you're supposed to know everything. Like, the longer you live, you gain experience, but experience only teaches the teachable. Like, if you're unteachable, then you could live to your 100 and just be stupid.
They out here.
Shout out Dr. James. I actually was at the gym. He said that he was benching 315. So I went and I was like, I haven't benched 315 since a year and a half ago. And I did it this week. So thank you for the motivation.
So, yeah, they stuck emotionally and mentally. I think we just saw it. not knowing how to read the room. I think we just saw it. Look, God is good.
What grade is this? I'm like very bad at like placing myself at age. I need to know what grade I was in.
6th grade and 7th grade. So 7th grade, I was 13.
Exactly.
Doesn't that come with your circumstance too? Because you may not be able to do that. You may be stuck in a position where that's all you got, and you're literally just treading water. So you have to just do what you got to do. And I believe there's people on Earth just to do that, just be stuck in one spot. Like, that's their job. Like, that's their placement. And I'm serious. I think some people can't admit that they are stuck and they're really never going to go anywhere, because that would be like awakening. But people are put here to not grow mentally, not grow emotionally. Like, you have to avoid them. That's what I just feel that way.
People are put here to not.
Yeah. Well, in the example that he gave with the kids, when he had to remove his daughter from the swing with the kids that were in grade school and saying they were going to cheat on their boyfriend, their parents are probably younger. So, like, if you're 18, your mom could be 36. Your mom could be 40. So this lends to this point where just because you're that age doesn't mean you grew. It just means you just had a baby. Anybody can have a baby. So
It don't matter.
Honestly, I don't think so, because earlier on, literally in the same conversation, it ran through my mind how I would be raising a child. And no matter what I would want to give my child or shield my child from, I can send them out to the world and they'll still pick up things from other places. Their friends might know things I don't want them to know, and, they might share it with them. I think a child talking like that does not reflect too much on the parent. If they get around their little friends and this is what little girls in school they talk about, and this is who my child is surrounding herself with. I mean, of course, I can influence that a little bit, but not a whole lot, because this is who, she hangs out with. That can't always be placed on a parent. But you never really know what is influence from a parent and what is being influenced outside the house.
I think the baseline should be respect, though.
Respect it. All of it is taught. It's learned behaviors. Or whether you learn it from your parent, whether you learn it from the outside, but most parents are working. But even if they do go into, most households require two people to work, which means both parents are working, which means this kid, more likely than not, is going to have more influence from outside societal factors, environmental factors, than their parents. So can a parent actually parent?
I would be interested to know, like, if you're a young woman in college, or like if you're someone who is a professional now or whatever, and you took the slow grind, like, why wouldn't a man pair himself with someone who maybe comes from a similar situation, who, has had a slow grind, whether it's like, either they went to college or either they went to trade school. Doesn't it seem like, though, speaking from that guy's perspective, doesn't it seem like he should be trying to pair himself with somebody with a background that's more fitting?
You could tell people to do whatever they want, and we're not the only people to bring up a clip. He wasn't the only person to say this. It's a certain sector of people that just have blinders and just want to do what they want to do because they were put here to do that. I don't know what it's called, this theory, but you are put here and, like, that is your life path, and you go a little bit this way, you go a little bit this way, but you were put here to be a garbage man. And you will try to do A, B, and C, and you will end up being a garbage man, no matter how hard you try. And that's fine, because we need garbage men. You don't activate all your talents in your lifetime. But if you did activate all your talents in your lifetime, then you would really break the mold of that design of just being one path.
I don't think that it's anyone's job to save. And I just think I'm a very selfish person, because in this life, why are we saving people? Why is this conversation even going there? I don't agree that people are put here to be useless and not shit. Everyone has their own life, and you do what you want with your own life. If that's what you decide to do with your own life, then that's on you. Not to say that that's what you were put on this earth to do. No. You're going to do what you want to do. If you want to make X happen, you're going to do the work to make X happen. Now, if you're going to just say, I want X, and then just lean back and just hope you get it one day, then yeah, you're not shit. And because you're not working to be shit. But that's on you. That's no higher being. That's not what you were called to do or not called to do. It has nothing to do with that, in my opinion.
You believe in the Matrix?
I don't understand that stuff. And I only watched The Matrix for the first time a couple months ago.
So how about Terminator? You ever seen Terminator?
Nope.
Okay, well.
Sorry.
Because it all starts somewhere. And I think you get a group of people that finally give in and give up their rights. And after we do that voluntarily with our phones and our information and our data, then ushers in the robotic age. So we've given this to them, and now we're so mad that they have everything, and like, oh, we don't want robot police, we don't want blah, 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 blah. But we are complaining about police brutality. And so the answer, unfortunately, is to have a police officer that is completely unbiased, that only follows the law. Period.
AI police, would you not be a little bit more scared of them?
Just hear me out.
Okay.
But
No,
if
I wouldn't.
by human nature, if human nature is brutal and unkind, and this constantly happens, if I offer you the solution like, hey, the only solution is I give you a program robot that walks around and watches crime. That's his only job. Would you take it?
Sure.
So that would be the RoboCop era or the Terminator era, because you're agreeing to it. So a bunch of people agree to that because they want to stop police brutality. They want to stop this. We don't want no more crime. We want a perfect city. And in order to do that, you have to give up a lot.
I did not watch any of the movies that you...
RoboCop, I was going crazy with that.
Okay. But what I do know about some movies that, reference robots doing or replacing what should be human jobs, they pick up on human interactions. Mm-hmm. So if that robot's job is to watch crime, they know crime 1,000%. Mm-hmm. You don't think that robot can potentially become violent?
There is potential for it, but you've chosen that because you decided that we'd want no more police shootings. So if I'm saying
like
right
instant
here,
kill.
You have to make a choice. You would choose the robot.
I might change my answer now.
Okay. Do me a favor, watch Minority Report. Check that out.
So many movies. You're going to have to send me a text.
I got you. Just watch Minority Report. It cuts out crime because it stops you before you even commit the crime because it knows what you're thinking. And that is where we're going to go because that's why they want to put chips in your brain and put chips in your skin. Like everything we've seen, like the RoboCops, the Terminators, we're in a place right now where that will be the reality. At some point. I sound crazy. If you're saying the Zeus network, right? To unplug, you are making a choice to watch that. So in your unplugging, you're just unplugging from one outlet to another. And you're still feeding yourself that garbage or whatever.
Or like an old show, for example. So you don't have to pay attention to the details.
You're actually still paying attention to the details.
Not really. I purposely put on something that I've watched a million times just to have something playing in the background.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that everybody has a button. And when that button's pushed, that's when you go crazy. Period. And I think we see crazy every day. And we just look at it as, mental illness or whatever. No, they were at their limit and their button was pushed. And there's pages like, I don't know if you follow Tizzy Entertainment. Mm-hmm. So if you follow his page, you can literally see in real time when somebody has had enough. Mm-hmm. And you can watch that and you could say, I don't ever want to be that way. But you could be thinking the same thoughts. So at this very point, that person just went off. That person just went off and became emotionally deregulated and just lost it. And because of that, you have no job.
They start calling people niggas.
They call your job. The internet finds your job where you work. You're instantly fired. If you ever end up on this page for the wrong reason, you're instantly fired because no company wants you to represent them.
What is
this? It's the greatest thing. It's like when you drive by a spot every day, you know the police are there, right? And you know not the speed, and you see this person speeding, and you want them to get caught. You can literally watch this person get caught on his page.
I watch it.
I love his page. Shout out to Tizzy Entertainment. Tizzy ENT. He basically people send him videos, but it's not even just racist. It's just people acting out of character. Like if you're driving by and like a kid caught you off on his bike, that was one of them, and the guy gets out of the car and he punches the kid and he threatens the kid. Like, why are you threatening a kid? His limit was done. Because if you think about it, his life is completely over. You can't work where you worked anymore. Now you have to find a new income. Your wife, your family's embarrassed by you.
That's so smart.
It's
so terrible.
It's
stupid.
That's it. Your life is done, and you can watch it in real time. I love that.
Crazy.
But good thing they can pivot and go get a trade in 18 months.
But can you?
Then they got to worry about that old job.
Yeah, now you got to worry about your stupid.
Because it kind of feeds into my theory that everybody has like a limit, like just a limit, and you can actually see them go to that limit. Because every day we deal with passive aggressive people.